All right. Hello and welcome in. This is the Bitcoin Escape Hatch, a Bitcoin only education channel where the signal is information and the outcome is financial freedom. This is episode 5 and it's how to buy Bitcoin. This isn't a tutorial, it's just some steps on some very important things that you should think about and learn about before buying your first Bitcoin. So if you've been with me from episode 1 of this series and you felt the pain of debasement, episode 2 showed you what Bitcoin actually is. Episode 3 went over scarcity and halvings. What makes it so powerful. Episode 4, we found out who secures the network, the miners, and all that other awesome stuff about proof of work, how they're mining Bitcoin with volcanoes and so on. And with all that out of the way, it's time to start talking about how to buy Bitcoin, or as I like to call them, how to buy yourself some freedom fighting satoshis. Before we jump into the how-to part, I just wanted to pause and share some personal thoughts. I may get a little passionate, but yeah, I've said this before and I'll keep saying it forever and ever. If your Bitcoin is not in cold storage, it's not yours. And if anyone is telling you to do anything other than that, you're being misled. And in the past, there's been many prominent voices in Bitcoin that have encouraged people to do otherwise. So you won't hear any of that. Here, I'm always going to tell you, if you're going to buy Bitcoin, make sure you send it to cold storage. The whole point of holding Bitcoin, this pristine, decentralized, sound money in the first place, is to hold it in cold storage. That is what truly makes it yours. The magic happens when you control the keys. That 12 or 24 word seed phrase you write down and you store and keep it safely, that are your keys to freedom, so to say. And only you have it. When your Bitcoin is in cold storage, no bank, no exchange, no politician, no app can ever take it away or freeze it. And that's the power of Bitcoin. And I just wanted to add another thing as to why holding Bitcoin in cold storage is so fundamental to Bitcoin is because of something that Friedrich August von Hayek was discussing when he was talking about the need for better money, denationalizing currency, as he advocated in his book, The Denationalization of Money. He stated, and I'm sure everybody's heard this before, but I love it, and I just think it ties nicely into why Bitcoin exists in the first place and why you need to send it to cold storage. He goes on to say in his book, I don't believe we shall ever have a good money again before we take the thing out of the hands of the government. That is, we can't take them violently out of the hands of government. All we can do is by some sly, roundabout way, introduce something that they cannot stop. And I just love that because the last part there where he says all we can do is by some sly roundabout way introduce something they cannot stop. And I feel like the only answer to that, or the only thing that we can do in response to that, is Bitcoin. And just a little background about who Hayek was. He was an Austrian-born British economist, philosopher, and leading figure in the Austrian School of Economics. And he championed for free markets, spontaneous order, individual liberty, which I love, and the dangers of central planning. Most famously, in the book The Road to Serfdom, earning him the 1974 Nobel Peace Prize in Economics for his pioneering analysis of money, economic fluctuations, and the interplay of economic, social, and institutional phenomena. And I just feel like after learning a little bit more about him, he just seemed like a total Bitcoiner right from the get-go. So please, never leave more than you can afford to lose sitting on an exchange or a hot wallet. I strongly recommend choosing platforms that let you buy and send directly to your cold storage wallet if possible. But this is a 101 series. If you're just starting out with small purchases, it's okay to leave a bit on an exchange or in a hot wallet. Get used to the feeling of having your money in something that isn't a bank account, right? And that is just, it starts to get more and more powerful, especially when you start incorporating cold storage. Just don't treat it like a stock. Don't watch the price every 5 minutes. Get emotional at a 20% dip, then open LinkedIn and see some boomer yelling Bitcoin is dead for the 445th time, and then sell on that same emotion. That said, I also think it's funny how people love to quote old school investors, especially like Warren Buffett, but forget his core investing beliefs, which is all about conviction if you think about his positions in Coke. When I was starting out my journey in investing, before I found Bitcoin, I was taking a bunch of different investing courses, and he popped up in a lot of them. And one of the things I kept hearing him say is, if you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. And I love that, because if you apply that to Bitcoin, if you held Bitcoin for 10 years, I mean, you'd be set. That's a winning play right there. And this channel is here to help you separate the dollar number on your screen from what you actually hold, which is a stack of what I like to call a freedom fighting satoshis. If that stack keeps growing, you're winning. That's the mission. Once you feel the difference, you won't go back. I want you to feel the nervousness that you will feel of sending your Bitcoin to your cold wallet while you're waiting there for it to confirm. It's liberating because once it's there, it's yours. Like I was saying, no one in the world can do anything about it. And remember, hodl, hold on for dear life because it is volatile. And the whole reason, like I've said many times before, of this channel is so that you can look at those dips as buying opportunities and not selling on that emotion. Now, it's time for the most important step of all, actually owning some Bitcoin. So let's get into it. Today is beginner friendly. Think of it as a on-ramp to buying your first sats, getting them off an exchange and into your cold storage. We're going to do this step by step. So even if you've never bought Bitcoin, you'll be able to follow along. First is your mindset. Even when I was taking investing courses, like stock investing courses, where they were recommending 60-40 portfolios, they were always pushing your mindset should be right first. Okay? Bitcoin is not a get rich quick scheme. I know we've probably all seen those people who've bought Bitcoin at tiny amounts, or you see Bitcoin while it's moving large amounts of coins that were mined back in 2010, 2011. Just we're not in that time frame anymore, right? Things are different. It's a sound money in a broken system. That's the way we need to start thinking about it. Start tiny. And I always say this, start with 10, 25, $50, whatever feels like play money to you. There would be no water off your back if it went missing, if you messed up on a transaction or sending it. The goal isn't to get rich. The goal is to start owning something that can't be printed away, something you truly control. Rule number 1. Not your keys, not your coins. If you leave your Bitcoin on an exchange, it's like leaving your cash, your money, in somebody else's vault. They can freeze it, lose it, get hacked, or go bankrupt. Think of Mt. Gox, FTX, Bitfinex, Coincheck, even Binance. They've all lost or been hacked and billions gone forever. And out of that entire list, only Binance has made their customers whole. We're going to fix that today with a buy, withdraw to self-custody strategy. That's it. It's that simple. Rule number 2. Don't risk what you can't afford to lose. Bitcoin is volatile. Prices swing hard. I only use money your KOC drop 50 to 80% temporarily. And I say that because, it always goes back up. Most people who get wrecked are those who buy big on emotion or leverage, and they're trying to chase the chase. And they sell on that same emotion only to get completely wrecked or completely wiped out on their leverage. We're not doing that. Also, I can't remember who said this or if I'm even saying it correctly, but it goes something like this. If you truly understand Bitcoin, your position wouldn't be 1%, it would be 100%. Now let's buy some Bitcoin. Step 1, finding a reputable exchange. And I'm going to give you guys a few examples of ones that I recommend, but like I always say, do your own research. In the United States, we have Swan Bitcoin. I personally have a great experience with Swan. So they are highly recommended in my books, but like I said, go to their website, do the research, go on Reddit, other forums, see what's going on there. Swan is great for the US and available in many places. It's a Bitcoin-only, low fees, automatic recurring buys, which is DCA, which is awesome. And they send straight to your wallet, which I always recommend. Perfect if you want to start small and hold long-term. Next up in the US is the Cash App. It's very simple, Bitcoin only. In the crypto section, I hate saying that word, instant debit card buys, which I do like, and easy withdrawals to your own wallet. Millions of people use it to start out. It's a great starting one. In Canada, we have Bull Bitcoin, which I highly recommend. I understand it's very similar to Swan. It's a Bitcoin-only non-custodial, which means you control the keys right away and supports Interact transfer and direct to your wallet purchases. Also in Canada, we have ShakePay and Newton. They are not Bitcoin-only, but they are super easy to set up. They allow Interact e-transfers, free deposits, and good for your first few $100 purchases. And there have never been issues with withdrawals there. And if any of you are in the Europe, and if you are, I'm super pumped that you're here. We have realized the only one that I could really find that's Bitcoin only and non-custodial, no KYC for small amounts, which I think is super awesome. You can buy the bank transfer or cash deposit, and it's a privacy first and very popular across the EU. Remember, don't trust what I'm saying here. Go on Swan's website, go on Realize, go on Bull Bitcoins and verify for yourself. Do the work. If you're going to take your money that you earned at work, that you traded your valuable time for, know that you're sending it to a place that you trust, right? Do the work. Always do the work. All right, moving on. Step 2, start small. Think of your first few buys as learning tuition. You're doing what no one else in the history of the world is able to do. You're able to take your own money into your control. So start slow and do it right. Once you've found your exchange, deposit fiat, usually through an Internet e-transfer or some sort of wire, depending where you are. Then go to the Buy Bitcoin section. Choose Bitcoin, enter 10 to 50, whatever feels safe to you. Review the fees. They're usually 0.5 to 1.5% for small buys. Hit confirm, and you now own Bitcoin. But it's still an exchange unless you already have your cold wallet set up and you've made that purchase directly to your cold wallet. But if you've made this purchase and it's sitting on that exchange's hot wallet or a hot wallet like a Sparrow that you have on your phone, it's not yours yet. And that's where we're going to go with step 3, setting up your wallet. Hot wallets are quick and convenient, and they're great for learning and good for keeping small amounts if you have a vendor within your area that accepts Bitcoin only, which I highly suggest you do. Examples: Blue Wallet, Mun Wallet, or Sparrow. These are all free and easy to set up, and they support Lightning Network, which is fast and cheap, instant payments. The downside is if your phone gets hacked, lost, or stolen, that's where the risk is. Though, if you keep a small amount on there, it's not a huge deal. The best practice, like I said, just keep under $100 on there while you're learning or for spending small amounts. Now, moving on to cold wallet. These are hardware devices, offline, never connected to the internet. This is for maximum security. Your Bitcoin is stored offline, away from hackers and online threats. Some examples: Cold Card, Trezor, Bitkey, and Jade. There are many, many more. These are the ones I suggest you go and check out and learn. I will say this: stay away from Ledger. They've had numerous issues in the past. Cold wallets can get expensive, but it's a one-time cost. You pay once for your cold wallet and that's it. You never have to pay for anything ever again. So I recommend spending a bit of money on a good Trezor or good cold card. Do that. It's an investment. Think of it as buying your own bank, right? That's where all your money sits. So this is best for your main stack. If you have anything over $1,000, I would say, send it to cold storage. The Bitcoin you plan to hold long term and pass on to your family, send it to cold storage. I would suggest trying many different wallets. Keep multiple different amounts on different wallets. Create no single point of failure for your main stack, okay? Find one you like and stick with it. Now, if you're wondering which one you should start with, I got you covered. If you're brand new and buying $10 to $50 your first few purchases, start with a hot wallet. Blue Wallet or Mun, Sparrow, they all have great reputations, and some of them are even open source, if you care to go check that out. It's fast, free, and lets you practice sending and receiving without stress. Once you're comfortable, like I said, if you're having more than a few hundred or $1,000, upgrade to a cold wallet. Cold Card or Trezor, this is where true sovereignty lives. It's the whole point of this channel. Important seed phrase rules. Even when you use a hot wallet or you set up a hot wallet like a Sparrow or a Mun, it's going to give you a seed phrase, your keys. When you create the wallet, it gives you the 12 or 24 word seed phrase. This is your master key. Write it down on paper or stamp it on metal. I would suggest if you're using a hot wallet with only a few $100s, don't get a metal backup for that. Use a metal backup for your big stack. Okay. Store it in 2 to 3 safe places. I would say 2 is okay. Don't create too much chaos in your OPSEC. Make it simple and make it secure. Okay. Never share it. Never enter it online. Never digitize it. Never put it in a password protector that's like in an online cloud. Keep it completely on a piece of paper or on a metal plate. Test recovery before sending big amounts. Once you have the wallet set up and you have your seed phrase, restart the wallet and use a restore from backup. And make sure your 24 words or 12 words works when you're setting up that wallet. Now, step 4, withdrawing from exchange to your wallet. This is called the escape step. In the exchange, go to withdraw or send Bitcoin. Copy your wallet's receiving address, and a QR is usually safest. Scan that or paste it. Now, if you're going to do that, I think even if you're scanning with the QR code, triple check. Check the whole address and then triple check the first few and the last few characters. Just be safe. It takes no time at all. Send a test amount. Send $5 or $10. Let it land. Then you know everything is good. Then send the rest. Wait for the confirmations. And you can check the status on mempool.space, which I'll link below. And it's awesome to see your stuff moving through the mempool. Once confirmed, congratulations. You now have Bitcoin in your control. No middlemen, no freeze button. And honestly, this is the best step. When you open your Trezor app or your Cold Card app and you see the Bitcoin land in there, it's a great feeling. It's a nervous feeling. It's a weird feeling because it's new, but it's an amazing feeling because nobody can ever touch that. And it's truly yours. Step 5, dollar cost averaging. This is the smart, low stress way. The set and forget. Instead of buying lump sums, buy small amounts regularly, weekly or monthly. And this is why DCA works. It takes the emotion out. No buying high, no panic selling low, and it averages out your costs over time. It builds your stack gradually. And there are a few tools. Like I was saying, Swan Bitcoin has an automatic DCA from your bank account, which is awesome. Kraken and ShakePay also have recurring buys, but you have to load the wallet up first. You have to send your dollars to the exchange and then tell them to make $25 payments every week. Set a calendar reminder every Friday, buy $25 of Bitcoin. And I'm just going to go over dollar cost averaging because I think a lot of people misunderstand the power of it. Dollar cost averaging is one of the smartest, low stress ways to build your Bitcoin stack over time. Instead of trying to time the market, guessing tops and bottoms, which even pros get wrong, you simply invest a fixed amount like $100 or $200 or even less, $10, $25, $50 on a regular schedule every week, every month, every payday, no matter what the price is doing. When Bitcoin dips, you automatically buy more sats for your dollars. When it moves, you buy fewer, but your average cost stays lower than if you had chased highs. Historical charts show this clearly. The portfolio value line trends steadily upward through cycles, often turning consistent buyers profitable even if they started at bad times at peaks. Because Bitcoin's long-term trajectory has been higher highs and higher lows. It's boring, it's disciplined, and it's exactly why it works. Remove the emotion, ride the volatility, and let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. And I think anybody that's bought since the 2021 high is in profits, even though we're at the same price now, which is crazy. Just think about that. Now, as I like to do, a few myth busting, quick reality checks. Myth number 1, buying Bitcoin is complicated. As we just covered, it is not. You just need to do your own research. The reality is it's even easier than opening a bank account because you can do it at your computer. Like I said, start with small amounts, $10 in ShakePay, and it's 5 minutes and it's yours. Myth number 2, it's too risky. I think the risk comes from people who play with leverage and people who buy on emotion. You often see Bitcoin dropping 10, 15, 20% overnight. And I think people get emotionally attached to these numbers. And that's why people think it's risky because they just buy high and sell low. Myth number 3, I'm too late. And I'm going to go in on this one a little bit. The internet took 25 to 30 years to go mainstream. From the early 1990s, with millions of users, to billions today. Bitcoin launched in 2009. It's roughly at the equivalent of the mid-1990s internet phase, still in the early adopters or innovators territory. With global population at around 8 billion, the internet users are at 5.6 to 6 billion. Bitcoin's 1 to 7% penetration, depending on which metrics you look at, mirrors where the web was before explosive growth in the late 90s and early 2000s. Network effects, halvings, institutional inflows, which are ETFs, and treasury companies, and emerging market uses are just starting to compound. Just think of that. This means the S-curve acceleration phase is still ahead of us. We are still so early. Most people don't even own any. Every halving cycle brings new adoption. Buying your first Bitcoin is your first real escape step. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about owning something that can't be debased, frozen, or seized without your keys. Start small today. Build the habit, grow your stack over the years. Set it and forget it. Your kids will thank you one day when the fiat system is just crumbs. Alrighty, let's just go over the steps one more time before I leave you guys. Step number 1, choose a reputable exchange. Swan, Bull Bitcoin, BigPay, Newton, Cash App, Relay, or Kraken, whichever works for you in your country, but as always, do your own research. Step 2, buy a tiny amount. Start with $10 to $50. Deposit your fiat, hit buy, and own your first sats. Step 3, set up that wallet. Use a Blue Wallet or Mun Wallet for beginners, your hot wallet, which you keep on your phone or on an exchange. And then order a cold card or tracer for your cold storage. Back up your seed phrase on paper or on metal for big stacks, and never ever digitize it or share it with anyone. Step number 4, withdraw immediately. Copy your wallet address, triple check it, send a test amount first, small, $5 to $10, then the rest. Watch it confirm on mempool space and enjoy that sovereignty. Step 5, start your dollar cost average strategy. Buy small amounts regularly, weekly or monthly, to build your stack without the stress. Set it up on your exchange and watch your stack grow. All right, so you know how to buy Bitcoin now. And I'm sure if you've kind of been following along, it's more about learning than anything else. And I even put a bit about Friedrich Hayek in there because when I started my Bitcoin journey, I found I was going down the monetary history path a lot more, right? These are fundamental issues with currency, and they've started a long time ago, back when with the inception of central banks, where they decided when to print the money and how much to print. And ever since then, they've just been debasing the money. And this is, like I was saying earlier, the first time in history that you and I and everyone else, the individual, can take back that control. And that's why it's so powerful. Excuse me. Anyways, comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. If you need any help, I'm always here. Reach out to me. You want me to walk you through buying your first Bitcoin? You want me to check out an exchange for you? Let me know. I read every comment. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications. Next up is going to be a combination of episodes 6 and 7. It's about wallets and keys and just a few best practices on how to maintain your wallets and all that other stuff. Remember, if you're going to buy Bitcoin, send it to cold storage. Let Bitcoin be your escape hatch to freedom. I'll see you in episode 6/7. And as always, stay sovereign. Peace out.